The State of JavaScript Survey 2022 just came out, and I'm really curious to see what all the different options are for technologies and tools and all the different things that people use. So I figured we could just go through and fill it out together. All right, so I'll put a link to the survey. Make sure that you go and fill this out. This is one of the coolest things, I think, for a JavaScript developer to be able to check to see like what are the things that people are using, what are the resources that people are using for learning. It would be really cool if my name popped up on here. I think I've seen that it doesn't, but I'm going to add myself just in case. But anyway, so let's go ahead and continue with an account. I think this is going to send me a magic link, so I'm going to go and get that and then come back. So while we wait for that email to come through, I want to tell you about another product in the JavaScript ecosystem that you should absolutely know about, and that is today's sponsor of the video, which is Storyblock. Storyblock is a headless CMS that offers a unique combination of visual editing tools that are really, really nice and highly customizable content blocks for marketers on top of a modern headless architecture for your developers. So your marketers have everything they need from a content perspective, while your developers have everything they need to build fast and reliable digital platforms and applications. Now, the really cool thing about this is I will be creating some content with Storyblock over the next couple of months using some really popular frameworks like Astro, SvelteKit, etc. Some frameworks that you'll see later on in this survey. And so keep an eye out on the channel for that content coming soon. But make sure to check out Storyblock with the link below and give it a shot. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So start survey. And the first thing is language, the vocabulary of JavaScript. So proxies. I'm actually really not sure what that is. I really don't know what proxies are, to be honest. Promise.all settled. I don't know exactly what this is. My guess is like promise.all. So promise.all will, I think promise.all settled will make sure that all of them came back successfully, or all successfully or nothing. I'm kind of curious. Promise.all settled. Let's see. Takes an iterable amount of promises as input and returns a single promise. This return promise fulfills when all the input promises settle, including when an empty iterable. Okay. I'm honestly still not sure exactly what that is. So if you have a definition for that. So I guess I could put not sure what it is. So dynamic import, this is where you don't do it at the top of your file. You do it based on some sort of condition. So if something happens, then I want to import it. Know what it is. I don't think I've ever used it. Nullish coalescing. Null. Actually, I know this phrase, but I actually am not sure how nullish coalescing works. So I honestly will put down, not sure what it is. I should probably do like a 5-minute video on that one. Private fields. So this is cool. This is getting more into object-oriented programming. I didn't know that this was in JavaScript specifically. I think I actually heard this, but so anyway, I know what it is from other languages. But I haven't used it in JavaScript. Numeric separators, no idea what that is. String replace all. But just a guess here that seems pretty obvious, like it's going to replace all instances instead of replace, which by default just replaces the first instance, I believe. Match all, I think, would be the same type of thing. So find all the matches for something. Logical assignment. Ooh, nope, never seen that. It's funny how many things like have changed and I just have no idea what they are. That'd be interesting. Maybe I'll do, if you want to see videos on certain topics that are in here, let me know and we can look into that. Promise.any. So I think this is if any other promises resolve successfully, then it'll come back. So it's just looking like if you throw out a bunch of them and you just want the first one that comes back. Prototype at. So get an element at a certain index. Yes, I like that. Top level await. I have actually used that. So I love async await. Using that top level, really, really cool. Temporal. I think this is like the date stuff that's built into JavaScript now. That kind of replaces the need for something like moment.js. So that's really, really cool. Find last. Know what it is based on the definition or based on the wordage, but I've never used that. Let's see. Error prototype cause. There no error connecting to database cause. Error. No, never heard of that. Object.hasOwn. Looking to see if it has a property. So I guess this is probably a better way to check than just like the null or like the bang and then object.property probably. So I guess know what it is, but I haven't used it. Regex match indices. Nope. Regex indices. No, I don't know. Browser APIs. Yes, I know what they are. Never used service workers. Internationalization. I'm actually not sure what specifically this means here. WebGL, I think, is for like graphics and stuff, but I've never used that if you're doing like really intensive stuff that needs performance. Web animations, not specifically heard of it. WebRTC, I believe this is for like socket stuff for like video and audio streaming type stuff. Web Speech API, know what it is. Yes. WebSocket, yes. Custom elements. That's probably like, what are they called? The not user framework. Web components. Is that what they're called? Anyway, that's probably what it's referring to. But Shadow DOM, sure, know what it is. I guess I've used it with React. Page visibility, no. Broadcast channel, I'm assuming this is for broadcasting like notifications. Geolocation, yes, I've never used it. File system access API, makes sense what it is. I don't think I've used it. Web share, I've heard of it, but I still don't really understand it. So I'm going to say not sure what it is. Web XR device, nope. I feel like there's a lot of these that I won't have known. Use that, no, never specifically used WebAssembly. So this is like, it compiles down to native code, I guess. Like you can take JavaScript or other languages and it compiles down to run natively and be faster. I think stuff like, this may not be true. I was going to say something like Figma uses WebAssembly. I think that's true, but I'm not actually sure. So if you know, let me know in the comments below. React, used it, would use again. Vue.js, heard of it, would like to learn. I just have never taken the time. Angular, I've used it. I would use it again. I actually like Angular. I not interested in Preact. Like it's just not as big as React. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to move past something that's so similar when you actually have React right there. Heard of it, was not interested for Ember. Svelte, used it, would use again. Alpine, heard of it, interested, sure. Lit, same thing. Solid, yeah. Quick, I've actually had somebody on my podcast to talk about that, so that's really interesting. Stencil, same kind of thing. Yeah, I think that about does it for me. Overall happiness with the overall state of things as it relates to the options above. I would say very happy. Like I think we have plenty of options, and that's great. Rendering frameworks. Interesting phrasing here. Rendering frameworks. I'm curious what do you think about this phrasing for Next.js? A rendering framework. That's really interesting to me. Love it. Next.js, heard of it, or Nuxt, heard of it, would like to learn. I'm kind of interested in Gatsby because I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm kind of curious. Used it, would use again for Remix. I love Astro. I just did my personal site with this. I've heard of 11D. I would like to use it. SvelteKit, yes. Docusaurus, I've heard about that as a really great option for documentation. Very happy with this space. All the tools and stuff is getting better and better. Here's where I've used Jest, barely. Interested in Mocha. Still interested in Storybook, but I've never really done anything with it. Interested in Cypress. This you can see. I've actually never heard of Ava. Jasmine, I have used, would use again. I mean, it's just basic stuff for me. I've never actually used Puppeteer. So yeah, like to learn one day. Testing library, heard of it, would like to learn. That's by Kinsey Dodds, I believe. Playwright, we had Debbie O'Brien on our Compressed FM podcast to talk about Playwright. That's really cool. WebDriver, never heard of that. Vitest, heard of it. Selenium, I feel like that's an older one that I don't really have any interest in. Test Cafe, no. Happy, testing is not something I spend a lot of time doing, so. Electron, super interested in Electron. I think that's super cool. Interested in React Native. Not so interested in native apps. Cordova, not so interested. It seems older. It's just not as, I don't know. I feel weird about Cordova. I couldn't explain why. Ionic, though, I am excited about. Shout out to Mike, who's leading DevRel at Ionic. I get to talk to him a lot at conferences and stuff. Never heard of Capacitor. Never heard of NW. Expo, I've heard of it. I've heard it's not so great. I think that's like, I don't know if it's specifically with React Native or not, but Quasar, Tari, Native Script, never heard of these. Neutral on this because it's not something I've really done. Webpack, sure. Parcel, sure. Gulp, wouldn't use again. It's just old. Rollup, I've heard of it. I've used it with something else. It doesn't. The interesting thing for me, I actually don't know what Browserify is. The interesting thing for me is like most of that stuff is abstracted. I've never had to go in and like dive really deep into configs for something like Webpack. Like most people hate that because you hate Webpack after going in and doing a bunch of configs. So for me, I haven't really done that. So it's not something that kills me. Snowpack, like it's been behind the scenes. SWC, so I think this is with, that's with Next.js, I believe. ES Build, sure. Vite, yes. I don't know WMR. Oh, no, TurboPack is what I was thinking of. Excuse me. Be interested in TurboPack. I think the tooling space for that stuff is amazing. So let's just go ahead and say I don't know anything about this because I just don't. I've heard of a couple of these things, but I don't really know them. So I'm gonna go through and just say like that's not where I live. That's not the things that I know. Do I regularly use none of these? Party Town is really cool. It uses like web workers to import stuff in an optimal way. So that's really cool. Data management. Oh, date management. I guess I've used date functions recently. Data visualization. I haven't really done much of that. Haven't really done much of this. Tanstack, Axios, SWR, Apollo Client. I've used all those. I like, backend frameworks, Express, Nest. I haven't actually used Strappy, but I've heard really good things. Haven't used Fastify or Meteor. I've heard good things. Same with Happy and Koa. Redwood is a cool one. Interesting that Redwood is listed as a framework for generating APIs. NVM, I love. Babel, I know. I actually don't know the rest of those. Again, like leave me comments. Let me know like what sort of stuff I should know. Service workers, Dino, Node, browser. Oh, do I regularly use? Yeah, none of these. So just browser and Node.js. Interested in Bun and Dino though. If you want to see content on Bun and Dino, let me know. Cloudflare workers, Netlify, Edge, and is that correct? Next.js, Edge, runtime? Surely that's meant to be Vercel. I'm gonna screenshot this to post on Twitter later because surely that's meant to be Vercel and not Next.js. Don't know that for sure though. TypeScript, yeah, that's it. Non-JavaScript languages, I don't. I mean, maybe I'm kind of skewed, but I don't. JavaScript, TypeScript balance, like mostly TypeScript. JavaScript usage, I guess professionally, although I don't write production code anymore. Front end, back end. Yeah, I may do some other things, but like on a regular basis now. What industry sectors are using JavaScript in? I don't know. Programming and technical tools, yes. Application patterns, yes. I actually don't know progressive hydration. I'm curious, like incremental static regeneration. There's a lot of stuff here. And I think that's I haven't gotten into streaming. That's one of the things that is amazing and overwhelming at the same time is how many different intricate ways to render pages there are and how important it is to know the difference between them as you go through. JavaScript is moving in the right direction. Absolutely. Building JavaScript apps is overly complex. No, I don't think so. I'm kind of neutral on that. It's changing too fast. I think it's easy to complain about it, but the reality is like, unless you need the new thing, like just learn to ignore stuff. So I would say that I'm neutral for that. Code architecture, maybe debugging, managing dependencies, writing modules. Yeah, I guess maybe state management is probably a thing. Currently missing from, I think a standard library of common utilities. I think that would be cool. People have talked about that for a while. Very happy with web development as a whole and JavaScript. Yeah. Resources. When first starting out, so I did books, I did videos, online courses, free and paid. I actually went to school. So coding, mentoring, self-directed learning, podcasts. Yeah. Like other first learning, huge fan of dev.to and is Hashnode not on here? Wow. I do JavaScript weekly, Node weekly. I don't actually follow Smashing Mag directly. Show more. CSS tricks. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Sites and courses. Yeah. Sites and courses. I mean, I feel like it'd be hard to not use a lot of these. West Boss is its own thing. Wow, it's wild. Egghead. View Mastery, I've heard really good things about. Oh, there's another individual person. Shout out to Level Up Tutorials. Great content there. This is where I was kind of hoping to see my name, and I don't, unfortunately. That would have been really cool, to be honest. Kinsey Dodds. Follow Ben. Web Dev Simplified. These are a lot of my friends, by the way. Coding Train. Coding Garden. Jack Harrington. I wonder if I've gotten any additions in that. Syntax, JS Party, JavaScript Jabber, Front End Happy Hour. I haven't listened to a lot of these in a while. Jamstack Radio by B. Dougie. There's probably more in there. There's also Compressed FM that I think. Ooh, I just activated Tailscan. Interesting. This is not written in Tailwind, if you were curious. People, comma separate. People you read. All right, I'm going to add my name again because why not? Other surveys, I haven't really done any of the other ones. So about me, I am this year's range. I have 6 to 10 years of experience, I guess. 1 employee for my company, which is just me. I'm going to be somewhere in here. And then we'll see next year what the range is as a full-time content creator. It's kind of cool, I think. Higher education, yes, actually in a related field. And then the US is where I'm based. I'm a man. I am white. Disability, none. How did you find out about the survey? Email, pretty good, I think. You want to let me know when the survey results are and send it to my email. Finish survey. What is the knowledge score you've heard? Oh, of how much stuff I've heard about. Okay. Interesting. So I'm curious, like, have you gone through the surveys? Let me know your thoughts and feedback and things that maybe I missed that or things you think I should know. And especially let me know if there's anything you want to see content on, especially the small like features in JavaScript, because that could be really easy for me to create like 5-minute videos on. So let me know what you're interested in. Go and fill out the survey. Do it. It's fun to know about the ecosystem and what everyone is interested in using and resources and that sort of stuff. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.